guys had quite a lot to do with John Peel, didn't you? Back then, is that right? Or
yeah,
you kind of, you know, like he kind of championed your music a little bit.
Yes, he certainly did.
Yeah.
Yes, he was the main person really to play the music on Radio 1.
Right.
And by that, I think it was national.
Yeah.
So therefore, a lot of people got to hear our music because of him.
Yeah, awesome.
You know?
And you had a kind of connection with kind of the punk scene as well. Was that was that true that there was that kind of punk scene that happened a little bit later on? Were you guys actually connected with that, or was that just?
Yeah, well, the punk, it was around. Tell you the truth, there was an interaction between a lot of these punk bands, especially those in London, and like reggae artists, you know. So for some reason, again, the two music was in the communities.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so with that now you have like this punk thing going on with the Europeans.
Yeah.
Or the white people in London. And the reggae thing going on with the black people.
Yeah.
So around that time, there was a kind of protests going on, the Black and White Unite.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You have bands like Clash. There was a lot of interaction between musicians, black and white at that time, and it really kind of started out this two-tone business, you see, because at that time there was a lot of reggae bands in London especially, so therefore the reggae music was even, as I say, in the communities, and I would say the white people also got into the music.
Yeah.
I mean, at that time Bob Marley was becoming really popular as well, so therefore the music had some kind of a superstar, international kind of standing. Okay, so it was, everything was alright, and as I said, from that kind of coming together, London kind of exploded throughout the country like it's a two-tone uprising where black musicians and white musicians play together,
And I guess in that sense it was quite political. You know, like you guys you were quite active with the anti-Nazi stuff and the anti-National Front stuff and do you think that kind of politicization of music has kind of dropped off a little bit now? It seems like you know, back then, especially with like the Clash and people like that, they were really political and they had a kind of obvious political message. But do you think it's less so nowadays? Do you know? Like it doesn't feel like, you know.
Yeah, I don't see the same kind of music power. Like even at that time with these punk bands, you know, because we played with a lot of punks, many, and there was something in the music. There was just like power.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
at that time in London, I'm telling you, it was strong music.
Yeah.
And as you say, because of the kind of conditions that we were all coming from, you would have said there was some more social kind of thinking of people at that time, you know. And of course, the young black people was always trying to highlight certain issues that was facing them, such as the stop and search, what is going on. At that time it used to be called SUS.
Yeah, I remember that.
So when black people are out there, they would be stopped and searched.
Yeah.
And when they asked, it was sus. They look suspicious.
Yeah.
You know? And
Is that where that slang came from?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And even at that time you could have seen all the kind of bad propaganda or bad publicity that used to be put out concerning Rasta or young black people. At that time where they calling everybody muggers and all kind of things.
But I mean that kind of thing still continues. I mean I mean, you know, like especially stop and search.
Yeah,
it's an epidemic.
It was brought back because there was a successful campaign against the SUS, you know.
Yeah.
Then,
Plus the Brixton riots had that was kind of like connected, wasn't it?
I don't know about that, you know, because as far as I know, Brixton riot was just the community being letting their feelings know.
Yeah.
Because of certain things that had gone on at the time.
Yeah.
I think it really came to a head when a mother was shot, a black woman,
Right, okay.
and then that really boiled over into what we see now as Brixton riot.
But there was a kind of there was like the music was something to channel that energy into, whereas now, I mean, you know, like there's a lot of kind of like young MCs who are kind of, you know, doing their thing, but there isn't so much of a call for revolution anymore in the music. You know, like do you think that's do you think that's a kind of a product of society that we're kind of told to be individual now rather than being kind of a collective?
Well, I don't know, because from the early 80s and so forth, there was a lot of unemployment in India. So a lot of people was unemployed. Probably the way that they're dealing with this situation has, how would I say, forced people to be more individualistic.
Okay, yeah.
Therefore that bonding is lacking. Yeah. So everybody's for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So society has really taken a backward step as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
In that way.
Do you think that's something that's kind of happened naturally, or do you think that's something that's been imposed on us?
Well, with how things go, we have to say the communities that were once in London, as I know it, has been broken.
Yeah.
So therefore the strong ties that people used to have,
where everyone would know each other.
is gone.
Yeah.
So it must be what's happening through this money business or whatever.
Yeah. And kind of gentrification and stuff.
Whatever they're company, you know. So that is what's happening. Yeah. In our communities.
Yeah. Well, luckily you're in a place right now where there's still a huge community vibe. You know, we definitely in Wales we definitely have a strong community spirit still. 800 years and they haven't managed to take it away yet. Do you mind talking about the time that you guys went to Zimbabwe? How do you feel about talking about that?
Well, you see, you must know that we are coming from a tradition of back to Africa.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, and within the struggle, we had an opportunity to actually go back.
Yeah.
And that was our first time, really. We are going to Africa was the first time we went to Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
It was a good experience.
Yeah, right.
Very good.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so we did the understandings that we then start to develop and seeing the continent for the first time.
Yeah.
It's well an eye opener.
Yeah. A bit of a shock as well.
Well, I wouldn't say shock. It's shock in the blatant racism.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
What of the white people that
that was existing.
Yeah.
And because within the Caribbean environment, we do have the same kind of society.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the same kind of society, but being a youngster in the Caribbean, I never see the kind of segregation.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That I saw.
Yeah.
In say like Zimbabwe the first time I go there. Because there was
And at that time, when was that? That was
the early 80s,
Right.
probably 82.
And so that was kind of at the height of colonialist rule and
Well, it was ended because this was the first year after the ending of the struggle.
right, okay.
It was the second. No, it was the first independence celebration. It was down there. Yeah.
But of course that kind of segregation hadn't ended
No,
yet.
because it was just the transitional period. Because don't forget everything had finished the year before.
Yeah, right.
So you actually saw the divisions. You have like the white Europeans, then you have the in-between colors,
Yeah.
and then you have the blacks.
Yeah.
You see, so that was there.
And none of that really existed in Jamaica. I mean, I guess
it
you had.
existed.
Yeah.
It existed, but you don't see it. You see it, but you don't see it today.
Yeah.
The level,
Yeah.
you know, on the scale that you see it in Africa. So it was.
Yeah.
So that is even that is an eye opener. So you see the people there is not no real difference from how we were living.
Yeah.
Within that setting. You see?
Do you think it's a kind of pride thing? I mean, you know, like West Indian people that I know, they have a kind of a real sense of, you know, kind of like sense of self, a sense of kind of, you know, like I am who I am. Whereas I spent some time in South Africa, and that was the first time that I ever saw black people that didn't have that kind of like, you know, like I am who I am. It's colonialism, isn't it? It's a strong power.
Well, South Africa was a different kind of experience. But the African, I think, have a lot of their ancestral self remain. So they do know like struggles and things that's coming from the past. But as you say, probably you don't see it so much because of the kind of urban settings now. Everybody mix up, you don't see them in the tribal group or the tribal the tribal families. But when they are looking at their histories, they would have that kind of understanding because
they're still there in a way.
That's the way I see it. They're very much tied to their like ancestral.
Do you think that the kind of Back to Africa movement is still relevant? Do you think that could still kind of, do you still get any hope that that's still could be a reality, that repatriation and all of that stuff?
You see, it depends on what level, you know, because the organizing of a whole nation to go back to Africa is a big work. You know, and furthermore, we know it's not everybody who wants to.
Of course.
Therefore, I have seen a lot of, I want to say, Africans from the diaspora. In Africa, there's plenty.
I know a couple. And doing bloody well as well.
Some of them. So as a whole,
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, excellent.
People going back.
Awesome.
Yeah, but not as a.
As not in that kind of, everyone get on a big boat and go back in, yeah. Alright, let me see what else I've got. Okay, so let's bring it to a close. What's happening next? What are you guys? So you guys have got this tour. Have you got some kind of plans to kind of? You're just gonna keep on rocking?
Yeah, we're gonna do a bit, and as it develops, we will take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we're going.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But you still love it. You still feeling.
What is the vocation?
Yeah.
And if we can play, we will play.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.